What is going on, everybody? It's your oh so beloved and glorious Mace Valor. Hi, how are you? Check it out, we're talking about Handy again today. The last time I talked about it, I gave you guys my first impressions. I've been on the app for a little while, and I don't know what else to say other than the words bittersweet. Bittersweet, it is very bittersweet, and here's the reason why. When Handy goes right, when things go right and there's no issues, you get there, you do your job and you bounce. It is probably one of the best, smoothest sailings things that you can do. You get paid a more than fair amount for the work that you're doing because it takes an ample amount of time. You're making money. You're doing the hustle. You're doing the grind. You're doing everything you need to do to make sure that you're successful. However, when things go wrong, when it comes to Handy, it's a train wreck. Complete and utter devastation. So check it out. My Twitter is @MaceValor. Go ahead and check it out there. You guys can see if you go to my Twitter and you look at my tweets. The only way I've ever been able to reach out to Handy is through Twitter. Every time I've tried to get hold of them via email, their preferred method, because we're a startup company. We don't do phone calls. We do not do phone calls. What? Why don't you do phone calls? What's the problem with phone calls? Well, here's the problem with phone calls: it's overhead. They don't have to pay the overhead to have people there answering the phones for technicians or for customers. Another problem for customers, if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, I want to use Handy services. Oh, what's it like for the technician? Well, here's what it's like as a customer. As a client, you're going to be hard pressed to get a refund. That's something that I've seen in my time with Handy. An issue happening and customers just trying to get refunded. They'll give you credit in a heartbeat. They will give you credit in a heartbeat. But once they have your money, once they have your USD, they're not going to be giving it back. You can utilize it for another service in the app. That's great, right? Oh, you don't want to use it for this service? Well, fine. You can use it for another one. Nope. Most people don't want to do that. They want to get their dinero back. They want to get their cheddar, their bread. They want to get it back in their hands, right? So let's talk about this. I have multiple different stories about Handy that I could talk about, but the one I'm going to talk about today was most recent when it came to an issue. Obviously, like I said, when things go good, things go great, but those stories are few and far between, mainly because they're not as interesting. It's nothing for me to discuss with you. So let's talk about the shit, right? Sorry, I'm trying to be family friendly. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. I'm at home. I'm like, all right, I got a free schedule today. Let's see what's going on, right? It's 11:12. I get hit up for a moving job, moving things from a storage unit into a pod, right? I'm like, cool, perfect. You know what? I'll do it. It's on the other end of town. Whatever. It pays $50, $25 an hour for the 2 hours it's gonna take. No problem. I'll go there. I'll knock it out maybe an hour and a half. And it's with another person, so we're gonna get it done relatively quickly. No problem, right? I drive there. As I'm driving there, and mind you, I'm communicating things with the person. We're kind of going back and forth, texting, in the app. And as I'm driving there, something cancels. It's gone. And I'm like, I didn't get no notification for this until a couple minutes later. A couple minutes later, I finally got a text message saying, oh, the customer canceled. And I'm like, that's bizarre. But in the messages, because we're still able to message each other, she wrote me and said, I don't know why the app canceled like that. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And then it re-came up. I got a request for it. I selected yes. I selected absolutely. And I was going to go do it, right? Well, here's the problem. A couple minutes after that, it cancels again. And by this point, I'm like 5 minutes away from her storage unit. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm almost there. Maybe a second pair of eyes will help, right? In the messages, I threw her my phone number because, I can't be texting and driving on the freeway, I shouldn't be making videos and driving on the freeway. I digress. So I call her and, hey, I'm almost there. Or she calls me, I give her my number, whatever. So, like, hey, I'm almost there. We'll try and work it out when I get there, right? Now, this is where it gets real interesting, okay? I get there, and it's just like she described. For some reason, Handy itself is canceling. They're canceling everything. And I'm like, well, I'm already on my way, right? Now what happened was, every time it got canceled, but because I was already on my way to the job, I selected it and I was on my way. Once it canceled, I got paid $15 because I was on my way. If you're chilling at the house and you're hanging out and it's like an hour before the job and it gets canceled, you get nothing. But if you click on the app on my way and a customer canceled, you get reimbursed essentially for your gas. So I got $15 twice. I got paid $30 because it was canceled so many times. Now, I don't know if that came out of the customer because it wasn't the customer canceling. I was sitting there with her while this app was doing its weird thing. And so she tried reaching out to them via email. It can take up, like on average, like it took me with an issue I had before, I'll tell you another time, 3 hours to hear back from them through an email. But the moment I hit them up on Twitter, it was like that. So we're kind of going over things, and then finally she gets it in her head, if I can get a refund. If I can get a refund from Handy, can I just pay you cash? And now here's the thing, I'm not gonna go out and tell her all the ins and outs, but I was like, no. And you're not supposed to accept cash, you're supposed to be able to do it through the app and all that jazz, right? And you gotta think about it, you're gonna pay me $50 when you would have paid Handy double that for me working. So you're just gonna get out like way cheaper than this, and so that would have been stupid to begin with. But here's the thing. The reason why I said no was twofold. One, it's never a guarantee. When you're working with these app-based gigs and someone says they're gonna pay you cash and they don't want to disclose the number or whatever and they don't have the cash on hand, never accept it. And never accept it for the pure reason that it's not a guarantee. At least through the app. Handy might have issues, but when it comes to payment, for the most part, they've done me right, okay? So you at least have the guarantee that when it's done through the app, you're gonna get paid for your time, you're gonna get paid for your work. You can't get that same guarantee when the customer says, oh, I'll just pay you through cash. To me, I'm like, well, no, I can't do that. It's against the terms of policy. And she's like, oh, well, they don't need to know about that. And I'm like, I understand your perspective. Don't get me wrong, but this is my livelihood. It's something I can't jeopardize. And that's the part where this lady starts to get annoyed with me. And it's like, you've already paid the money to Handy. I know that Handy's not gonna refund you. They're not gonna refund you. If you go on @HandyCX on Twitter, you can see the shitstorm that they have with clients. When things go bad, things go horrible. Look at the Google Play reviews of the app. Now, app reviews are supposed to be reviews for the app, not the services of the app, but that's usually how it works. They turn it into fucking Yelp for whatever reason. I'm trying to be family friendly, it's so hard, I'm trying to tone down the cursing. I apologize for anyone offended. Anyway, so we're kind of going this all back and forth. I was there for a good 40 minutes trying to like go through this with her. And she finally got sick of it, and her and her roommate, I guess, started unloading it and stuff. And, she got annoyed because I was there, but I wasn't working. And on the app, it's like, well, I can't do it. If I'm not on the app, I can't do it. And finally, because at this point, it's like 12:35. Finally, they got it situated with Handy so that, because they talked to them on the phone and everything, they got it situated so that I was slotted for 4 p.m. Cool, great. Here's the problem though. We need the job done now. On my end though, anything can happen. I'm there to do the job, but the job is slotted for a further time in the future. Me as a technician, that's not the time I'm slotted for. There's no protection on my end. I can't go into the app and click, hey, start job. I'm here, check in. I can't do that. And I told her, like, look, I want to be able to work with you, but that's the time it's slotted for. I have to protect myself. I'm like, I'm not saying that you're going to do anything shady, but I know how the app works and how it's all whatever. Like, I'm trying to downplay it for her, right? I'm like, because she could basically, if I'm there and I do the job and I leave, and then let's say after I leave she cancels the job, then I'm out all that fucking work because I was never able to check in. So I basically told her, like, look, I'm not going to be able to do the job right now. You want me to come back at 4 o'clock? I can do it at 4 o'clock. I can't do it right here, right now. And it sucks for her because she paid for 2 people. I was the only one that showed up, So the whole thing was a giant cluster F, right? It was just a mess. But you run into these things with these apps. No, for the most part, because I did give a giant big dose of negativity, let's talk about the positive stuff. There are some jobs I go to. There was one, for example, I go to this guy's house. He has this Bluetooth Wi-Fi speaker thing. All I do is I turn it on and connect it to his Wi-Fi. That's it. 15 minutes worth of work, $70. 35-minute drive there, 35-minute drive back. Roughly like an hour and 40 minutes, including my drive time. No, wait. An hour and 20 minutes, let's say, including my drive time. For $70. That's amazing. Plus, dude gave me a $10 tip. So $80. $80 for, but here's the thing, here's the caveat. Yes, you do make pretty decent money with Handy. The downside is you're not always going to be getting these jobs. And what do I mean when I say that? Today I had one job with Handy. I may not have anything for the rest of the day. Actually, with Handy, I don't have anything scheduled until, I think I have another job on Friday, but that's it. Wednesday today, I have a job Friday, that's probably it. And I could probably get something popping up between now and then, of course. But for the most part with Handy, I probably, on average, do about 4 to 5 jobs a week, if I'm lucky. Now that's stretched over the 7-day work week, not the typical 5-day work week. We're talking Sunday through Saturday. When am I working? If I'm lucky, I get more than 5 jobs. On average, I would say it's 3 to 4. Maybe 1 job every other day, typically. But I try to at least do a job a day. If I can do at least a job a day through Handy, then I'm looking pretty. As you can see from that bag in the back, I'm also on another service called Pulse, for example, and I haven't really started yet. I've been on the app, finally got all my gear and stuff, trying to work out a few kinks, because that's its whole other issue, but I'm trying to start today. As soon as they give me a notification on the app, I'm going to accept it and go do the job. So maybe you'll be looking forward to me doing a video talking about me doing Pulse, right? Who knows? But for the most part, Handy, it's touch and go. It's touch and go. It's not the most intuitive app to be a part of as a technician, because there's no technical support, which is really kind of sad, because you need technical support when you're out in the field for when issues arise. You need to have that other hand to kind of help guide you through the steps that you as a technician cannot do. But I digress. What do you guys think? Put it down in the comment section down below. If you want to check out Handy, there's an affiliate link I'm going to put in the description. Also, like I said, there's a link in the description for my Twitter. Go check out that bad boy. Oh boy. Because there you can see my level of discourse that I've had trying to deal with Handy. Handy, I'm pretty sure they'll be successful once they iron out the kinks. It's just how it is. Hopefully it's temporary. I remember hearing that they did have a customer support number, a tech support number, but it went away. Hey, maybe we'll see it again in the future. Maybe things will change. Maybe Handy will be successful enough to where that's an expense that they can afford, but hey, we'll see in the future. As always, I'm your oh so beloved, glorious Mace Valor. Leave some love and or hate down in the comments. I'll take either or. I try to respond to anyone and everyone as long as you have a question, comment, concern for me that can be addressed. I will address it, no problem. You guys take care. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And as always, own your success. This is Mace Valor, signing off.